Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. here at the Dirty Mo Media Studio, and this is the Ask Junior segment of the Dale Jr. Download. You can catch this obviously right here live. We'll also have it in today's podcast, the Dale Jr. Download, the Tuesday edition Dirty Air. Actually, it's on Thursday's show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on Thursday's show. So, you're catching it right now. And if your friends need to see or whatever, they can watch it on the DJD Reloaded on Thursday. We want to thank Xfinity for supporting us here at the Dale Jr. Download. They've been a great sponsor for the Ask Junior segment of our show for, it seems like, forever. And we're helping them celebrate their Xfinity Mobile. Customers for Xfinity Mobile now get exclusive access to Wi-Fi speeds of up to 1 gig in millions of locations nationwide. With its nationwide coverage, you know that it's always going to come in clutch. You can take NASCAR on the go, whatever it is, NFL, whatever you're watching, whatever you're enjoying, you can do it with the Xfinity Mobile. And they're a proud premier partner of NASCAR. They're a great partner for this sport, so we're very thankful for them. But we've got your questions, and we're ready to dive right in.
And it is a Bud-themed Ask Junior because we dropped some big news today. The Bud 8 is back, and so this first question is from Matthew Largan. What is the favorite Bud commercial that you were in? And I actually have a list that can help jog your memory here a little bit. You had Ed Helms, and you were his designated driver. That was a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah. The lipstick,
the
lipstick one. The Clydesdales. You switching numbers. The Desert Mutants car chase. The CD player.
Yeah.
All of them were. So out of those, or maybe there's another one that I'm missing, but.
Yeah. My favorite, I wasn't in it. My favorite one was the Farewell Lord Huron video that they put together when we retired from Cup Series. They didn't have to do that. They did that out of their own pocket, and that was just really a nice thing. But the one that I was in, my favorite one that I was in was probably the lipstick one.
Yeah.
That was fun. I remember the Ed Helms one was great. Me and Ed were in that car on a trailer getting towed around in a neighborhood, what seemed like for hours. And then for him to go on and be like when Ed Helms was in that commercial, I was asking him about his work and what he was doing, and he's like, "Man, I'm going around the local clubs doing comedy sketch." And
wow.
I'm just doing comedy, that's what I do. I do stand up around around town. And got this opportunity to do this shoot, and I'm pumped, right? He's really excited because it was going to be a Super Bowl commercial. And naturally a funny guy. And we had a fun time, sitting in that car all night. And then he becomes this mega star. And so that was pretty cool because he's on my favorite show. I was like a massive fan of The Office.
Right.
And he then becomes part of that show, and I'm like, holy crap. So that was neat. The great thing about Budweiser on their commercials is it was always first class, and you knew that the writing was going to be good. You knew it was going to be funny. If it was intentionally funny, it was going to land. And we had a lot of fun. The zombie, or not the zombie, but what was the one where
the Desert Mutants?
Yeah. That was
great.
Yeah, that was really cool. I got a bunch of pictures from that. I have pictures from all of this.
Yeah.
Like I collected I still have a big collection of that. And we all took a picture together, right? Me and all those.
All of them.
Yeah. And it was funny because when I got there and we started shooting, we're shooting there in character, right? There was no conversation beforehand.
Really? Like they were like method almost?
Yeah.
Like,
no. Like when I showed up, we rolled camera and began to work. And after about an hour or two, we'd break for lunch, and then you're standing around and they're just talking like normal people. And it was like, man, I really felt like y'all were real there for a while because as we're they're not, but like you're shooting this and you're like, man, this is so elaborate, and then you have no idea what they sound like, and then they start talking, and they're like just normal people. And I don't know, that was fun. All those are great moments.
You like signed the chainsaw at the end?
I don't know.
No, yeah. Oh, at the end of the commercial.
I did.
Yeah, you were like, "Oh yeah, guys, there's no Bud in the car." Like,
he asked me for it. Yeah.
And then they, his like name was Steve or something like that. You know, that was because I went on a whole rabbit hole watching these old commercials yesterday, and the writing in all of them was good.
Yeah,
like even Ed Helms, like, "Oh yeah, I live right by the bar."
Yeah,
or the lipstick, like that's not my lipstick. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. This next question, I want to make sure I get your name here correct. It is from Lynette on Facebook, and she wants to know what's like the coolest appearance that you've done with Bud.
Yeah, the Bud appearances were, they didn't feel like appearances. A lot of times you were going to concerts or boxing matches, and so. There were the traditional like autograph sessions and things like that. We went to a lot of Bud distributors, and would meet bottlers and distributors. But and those were fun too, because just seeing the scale of a business like that, walking into a building that was full of beer. Was a thing to see, right?
Yeah.
And also, and I think this might be an opportunity for the public, but you could back way early. We went to the offices in St. Louis and toured, and the Clydesdales are all down there downtown. At least they were at the time, and we went through the whole brewery and saw how they make beer, and so that to me was fascinating. I really enjoyed that. I remember the very first photo shoot with them. I went to St. Louis and was doing the photo shoot, which would ultimately end up being our rookie card that we had for, I believe, 1999. So on that rookie card, I'm leaning up against the car that I raced for them for 5 races in 99. I was actually leaning up against a sawhorse, a wooden sawhorse. And they, made it look like I was at a racetrack. But I remember going to the studio. I remember doing all of that. And so it was, I have so many great memories. I was a huge fan of boxing, and they sent me to some boxing matches to watch, some of my favorite boxers, and the other thing that was always incredible with Bud was they had their national sales convention, and it was an annual thing, and it would be in some big city, and at the event there would be thousands of bottlers and distributors and employees of the company. And you were going to sit down and watch each individual brand underneath the Anheuser-Busch umbrella tell you about their marketing plan for the coming year, which was a lot of fun, to be honest with you, because you're going to see all these commercials. Right? And so you were going to see the Super Bowl commercials and all of the funny commercials that they had planned before anyone else. And it was really entertaining. And it also helped you understand what was important to the brand and what mattered to them, right? And I remember the very first one that I got invited to, I had no clue that there was going to be 10,000 employees there, right? It was giant. It's like 5,000, 10,000 people. It was a huge room. Had no idea, right? And I'm with Dad, and they're like, you're gonna get called up on the stage. You're gonna go up on stage, and you're gonna, say a few words about how excited you are about this opportunity to drive for Budweiser. And so Dad's a pro. He ain't nothing like this. He's done this all the time. I'm nervous. And so we go up on stage, and Dad says something pretty, pretty normal and what you would expect him to say. And I said, so they hadn't won races in a while. Mm-hmm. And I said, I said, we're going back to Victory Lane. That's what I said. And they liked that. They got excited about that.
I'm sure.
And then I come off stage and Dad goes, well, you better deliver on the promise. I guess you put, you're going to go up there and say that, talk the talk. You're going to have to go do it now. And I was like, well, I hope we can. But the best thing about going to those events, man, was all of the people all of the other spokesmen or spokeswomen or all the other ambassadors would be there. And so, man, you're sitting and they set us all together at these events. And so it's a big, giant room, stadium seating, and we would all sit together, and it would be, if you think of any spokesman or ambassador that Bud's had from 99 to 2007, and they were sitting there. 1 year, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, there would be all of their PBR bull riders, any of their sports ambassadors, athletes, golfers, everybody. Anybody that had any sort of a connection to them.
Yeah.
And it was probably about 40 or 50 people. It'd be comedians,
cool.
actors. They were all sitting there, and I mean, it was neat. You got to rub elbows with some pretty cool people, and I've had that. This is definitely going to be fun, bringing back some nostalgia and some good memories. And the car looks amazing that we're going to race at Florence.
It does.
Yeah, the car looks great. We're going to go down and make sure it's fast, and 250 lap race. I love the long races. It gives me a lot of time to sit there and kind of plan my approach and wait out the competition a little bit and see if we can't put ourselves in position late.
We got time for one more question, and it's a popular one. It's one of the more popular ones I've seen on social media, Facebook, YouTube. But this one, Jason asks, what is your favorite win in the Bud 8 car? I know that's hard to narrow down.
Yeah, you don't have them. All the wins have different importance to you, right? And so now there are some wins that certainly are down the list, but I can't tell you that my All-Star win is less of a favorite than our Daytona 500 win in the Bud car, right? Mm-hmm. Or the 2001 July Daytona race. I can't tell you that it's more or less important than our Dover win. It was a there's some races there that probably don't measure up to the All-Star race or the Daytona 500 or the July race or the Dover race. Those four are pretty cool for different reasons. And I feel like that the July 2001 race was really the period at the end of the sentence of a very personal time, right? And so that one stands out. Winning the All-Star race and having Dad there, that's a favorite because that was one victory lane where we really spent a lot of time with Dad. Dad usually would come, if we won a race, Dad would come in victory lane and then he would leave. And then the team would do whatever the team was going to do. And he never went to the media center after wins or nothing like owners traditionally do now. But the All-Star race, that victory lane, he stuck around. And we really laughed, and, he was in all the photos and just backslapping and hugging everybody for an hour. And then, trying to win the Daytona 500. It meant so much to Dad to win that race. It was like the most important race to win in his mind. And to a fault maybe, but if my dad thought it or believed it, then I thought it and I believed it, right? I think we all might do that as sons. Like if we really trusted our dads, whatever their choices were, or whatever their decisions in life were, we really put a lot of stock in it. And so growing up as son, I'm like, Daytona 500 is the most important race. Always will be. You can't change my mind. If there's a race to win in our sport, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing will ever change my opinion about that. And so when we finally got to do that, I didn't know if I was going to have to chase that forever or maybe never win it, ever. So when I finally got to get that win, dang, what a relief to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love watching that race. I love watching all of them. The Daytona 500 win is my favorite because of having to set that pass up without any real drafting help. Like trying to figure out a way to create a run to get alongside of Tony Stewart was like seemingly impossible for me at the time, and I didn't know if we'd be able to do it. But if you watch that race and watch the throttle and how I'm messing with the throttle and trying to time the run for the exit of the turn 4 and finally getting it done after like 20 laps of trying to figure out how to get this car to create the run had to start somewhere else on the track, and where did that need to be so that when I come around to this point, I would really have him in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while to figure it out.
Well, good stuff. I saw a lot of people asking about merch. You can get it now at shopjuniornation.com. And that's gonna be pretty fun. And go ahead.
I want to say, I'm excited that everybody's receiving the news well, and really excited about this and appreciative of it. I am too. I want to thank Budweiser, and we spent some time talking to them about what we could do together. And we landed in a really good spot for me. I love late model stock and grassroots racing. I'm excited to go to Florence and drive this car. We were, considering putting some merch together, but I only wanted to put merch together if we had a race to run. And so we got it together, and we got a couple pieces out there, and we've worked hard upstairs on the design. I've had some input on that a little bit. So I hope you like what we come up with. If you can't go to Florence on the Saturday before Thanksgiving to see the race, you'll be able to tune in on Flow. And the great thing about Flow, obviously, I race about 2 or 3 races, or maybe 3 to 5 races a year that are broadcast on Flow. But if you subscribe, you get everything. You get the Cars Tour. There's no stuff hidden behind a paywall or anything like that. So it's one subscription. You get everything that they got. Late model stock racing, the Cars Tour, modified races, dirt racing, sprint cars, all that stuff, and all kinds of other sports. I mean, if you can think about it, it's on there. It's incredible for the price, what you can get. But if you can't see us live, maybe you'll tune in and check them out.
Awesome. Well, that's a good place to end Ask Junior this week. Thanks to Xfinity again.
Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is a lot of fun. One of my favorite parts of the show. Tony Sr.'s the guest tomorrow, so hopefully you'll tune in for that. He's going to come in here, and I'm excited to be able to sit down and talk to him. It's been a while since we really spent some time catching up. And we had a great show today. Joe Logano called in and talked about his win and gave us a great interview. And certainly we talked a lot about our announcing the Bud car this morning for Florence. So great show. Hopefully you'll check out today's show and tomorrow with Tony Sr. And then we have Reloaded, as well as all, the whole basket of Dirty Mo Media content that we're doing every single week. So thank y'all for being supporting us in what we're doing.
All right.